What if I told you that a coin minted in the same year humans first walked on the moon could be hiding secrets, myths, and hidden value right in your pocket change? Today we are unraveling the fascinating story of the 1969 quarter dollar, one of the most circulated, yet surprisingly intriguing coins in American numismatics. We'll dive into history, myths, mistakes, collector value, and real auction results that might just change how you look at this everyday piece of metal. So if you've ever wondered what makes a 1969 quarter more than just 25 cents, stick around, because this is the hidden history behind one of America's most enduring coins. In 1969, America was a nation full of change, innovation, and optimism. The Vietnam War still raged, the Apollo missions captivated the imagination, and on the economic front, coins changed hands millions of times every day. But let's be clear, despite what some myths suggest, there was no special Liberty quarter minted in 1969. The quarter in circulation that year was the Washington quarter, originally introduced in 1932 to honor the 200th anniversary of George Washington's birth. What started as a commemorative design became the standard quarter we still use today, until 1998. Designed by John Flanagan, the Washington quarter was chosen in 1932 to replace the standing Liberty quarter. The portrait of Washington, dignified, classical, stoic, was meant to evoke stability during the Great Depression. For nearly 4 decades, this design became one of America's most widely used coins. By 1969, the Washington quarter had been circulating for 37 years, familiar to every American, yet still full of tales waiting to be told. As with many coins that have circulated widely, the 1969 quarter is wrapped in myths. Let's bust, or confirm, the most persistent ones. Myth number 1. A 1969 quarter is rare and worth a fortune. This is probably the number one belief you'll find on internet forums, social media, or even in the back of grandma's jewelry box. The truth. The United States Mint produced hundreds of millions of Washington quarters in 1969, far from rare. In fact, the Maine Mint struck. A Philadelphia Mint, no mint mark, the most common. A Denver Mint, D, also very common. There were no proof coins released for circulation, problems, and no secret limited edition 1969 issues. So by pure population and survival estimates, this is not an inherently rare date in the Washington quarter series. No official gold quarters were ever struck for circulation in 1969. In fact, the last time quarters contained 90% silver was in 1964. Starting in 1965, all quarters were changed to a clad composition, copper core, outer layers of cupronickel, due to rising silver prices. Collectors might encounter novelty gold-plated or fantasy pieces, but these were created after the fact and have no official mint backing. We'll talk later about the value, or lack thereof, of those items. This one has some truth, but it's nuanced. Certain era coins can indeed have value, but the date alone doesn't guarantee it. We'll explore this more in our auction and collector section. The Washington quarter's design pulls deep from American symbolism. A portrait of George Washington. Air inscription, Liberty. A motto, In God We Trust. A date, 1969. What's remarkable here is not just the portrait, but what it represents. A founding father looking forward, a symbol of continuity in an era of social change. An eagle with spread wings, perched on a bundle of arrows. Olive branches beneath, symbolizing peace juxtaposed with strength. This was the standard reverse until the state quarters program began in 1999. The eagle motif evokes America's readiness to defend liberty, fitting for a nation in a global context. Unlike earlier coins, the Washington quarter wasn't just currency. It was a narrative of identity and aspiration. Let's zoom into the actual production stats, because this is where understanding rarity and value really begins. In 1969, millions of quarters were minted. A Philadelphia, over 152 million. A Denver, over 230 million. These figures place the 1969 quarter firmly in the realm of common coins, by sheer numbers alone. So if you've found one in your pocket, congratulations. But don't expect instant millionaire status. But wait, there's more. Coin collectors don't just look at date and mint mark. They examine condition, strike quality, surface preservation, and even errors. Alright, now the fun part. Errors. Most 1969 quarters are ordinary, but collectors do chase certain anomalies. Error type number 1, double die obverse, DDO. This is when the design is struck twice, slightly misaligned, creating a shadowed look on letters or numbers. Collector's check. A liberty. In God we trust. The date itself. A strong double die could be interesting, but be wary, not every doubling is collectible quality. Many perceived double dies are actually just die wear or machine doubling, which is less valuable. Error type number 2. Off-center strike. This is when the coin isn't perfectly aligned during striking, leaving part of the design missing. Off-center errors can range widely in value depending on how dramatic and well-defined the remaining design is. Error type number 3. Broad strike or missing clad layer. Occasionally, planchets slip out of their clamps and strike differently, creating broad, wide, unusual surfaces. These aren't extremely common, and when authenticated, can fetch a premium from collectors. Here's the $1 million coin collector rule. Condition matters more than date. A perfectly preserved 1969 quarter in uncirculated condition, especially graded by a professional service, could be worth significantly more than face value. But even then, we are talking tens or hundreds of dollars, not thousands, unless there's a major verified error. Let's break down how collectors grade coins. Heavy wear, design worn smooth. Moderate wear, most details visible. Light wear, most features sharp. Barely any wear. No wear, may range from average to perfect. A 1969 quarter graded MS 67 or above can be highly desirable to specialists, especially in original mint luster. But again, this is condition, not rarity. Enough talk. Let's look at what these coins have actually sold for at auction. I pulled together verified auction and dealer results to give us a real picture, not speculation. Common circulated 1969 quarters. A typical garage sale or pocket change coin, 25 cents to $1 to $3. Reason, common date, widely available. Uncirculated, MS60, MS63. These can range $5 to $30. Reason, collectors pay a premium for lack of wear. High uncirculated, MS64, MS65, are often $30 to $75. Reason, quality increases desirability. MS66 or above. These can fetch $100 to $300 plus. When certified by PCGS or NGC. Error coins. A light doubling or mild off-center, $50 to $150. A strong error coins with dramatic features, $200 to $1,500 plus. But only the most dramatic, authenticated errors. Notice something? Even the higher end. 1969 quarters don't regularly sell for thousands unless they are extraordinary errors. So if it's so common, why do some of these coins still have value? The answer lies in collector psychology and supply versus demand. 1. Millions were made, so scarcity is not in the date. 2. Many were spent and worn, so high grade. Well-preserved examples are harder to find. 3. The Washington Quarter Series has historic appeal. Collectors want complete sets, especially pre-state quarters. 4. Errors and exceptional quality give hobbyists something to chase. Coins are valued by condition, demand, and uniqueness, not just date. Let's answer questions people often ask online. Question: is a 1969 no mint mark quarter rare? A. No. Philadelphia issues were extremely common in 1969. Question: are gold-plated 1969 quarters valuable? A. Only as novelties. The gold doesn't make them rare or official US mint coins. Question: does a 1969 quarter in a wallet for 50 years have value? A. Maybe, but only if it's in exceptional condition. Check for wear. Question: are proof-like 1969 quarters rare? A. Most 1969 quarters were business strikes, not proofs. Some may display reflective fields due to die polishing, but these are not officially designated proof coins and don't automatically command high value. If you found a 1969 quarter and you think it might be valuable, here's what you should do. Step 1. Examine condition. Use good lighting. Look for scratches, wear on the high points, Washington's hair, cheek, eagle feathers. Step 2. Check for errors. Look closely at text for doubling, unusual strike features, off-center images. Step 3. Compare with known examples. Search reliable numismatic databases or auction records. Step 4. Consider professional grading. Services like PCGS and NGC can authenticate and grade, which markedly affects market value. Despite being common, the 1969 quarter holds a place in many collections for reasons beyond price. A part of the classic Washington series, a transitional era before the state quarters program, a nostalgic connection to a pivotal year in American history. A high-grade survivors can be beautiful and lustrous. Collectors aren't just chasing money, they're chasing story, history, and preservation. So let's recap. The 1969 quarter is a widely circulated coin, and not rare by production numbers, a valuable in high grades and for genuine errors, a misunderstood by myths online, a piece of American history you pass by every day. If you're exploring numismatics, start here. Learn the fundamentals, the grading language, the eye for detail, and you'll find that even common coins can reveal extraordinary stories. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the 1969 quarter dollar, myths, history, and real value, hit that like button. Subscribe for more coin history and collecting insights. And let me know in the comments, have you found a 1969 quarter worth more than face value? Show a photo. Stay curious, stay sharp, and I'll see you in the next video.